Hey everybody, I'm excited, very excited. Wednesday nights are starting back up here at First Plains. If I don't know you, my name's Eric. I'm the youth pastor here at First Baptist Church in Plains, Texas, and our Wednesday nights are starting back up. They'll be a little bit different this year, as you can imagine. First of all, the only two programs we're going to have going on Wednesday nights is First Kids and First Youth. That means pre-K through 5th grade will be our First Kids group, and they'll have activities, and 6th grade through 12th grade will have activities. We're not going to have a meal for the entire community, unfortunately, with some of the things that are going on in the community and trying to make the best choices for our community. So we're not going to have an open meal for everybody. We will feed the kids and the teenagers who come for First Youth and First Kids. And so we're excited to get started back up. I want to share with you my heart and our church's heart for Wednesday nights. Most of all, we want to make sure that Jesus is shared with everybody who comes in contact with us. The gospel is our number one priority. The idea that God created us to know Him, and we sinned and separated ourselves from Him, and He sent His Son to reestablish that relationship, to reestablish that life again, and we can live in that life now and forever. Second of all, our whole mission is to help equip people to reach people with that gospel. That's the whole mission. That's why we do everything we do, because we want you to be able to change your world. Another main priority is safety. We want to make the choices that we can make, the safeguards that we can set up to keep everyone as safe as we can. So we're going to feed the kiddos and the volunteers who are coming to be a part of First Kids and First Youth. Finally, and I shouldn't have to say this, but I do, one of our priorities is to have fun. God's people should be the most fun people in the world, and we have a bad reputation of not being very fun. Now I want to talk a little bit about specifics with each program. First Kids is pre-K through 5th grade. And here's what their night's going to look like. At 5:15, we're going to open the doors next to the fellowship hall. And we're asking that families bring their kids to that side of the building where the playground is, and the kids can come into the doors by the fellowship hall. It's the door they normally come in. When they walk in, we're going to check them into our system to make sure we have a record of their attendance. And then we're going to divide them into 3 groups. Youngest, young, and oldest. The youngest will go into one room with their adult volunteers where they'll be the entire night. The young will go into their separate room where they'll be with their adult volunteers all night. And then the oldest, the same thing, their own room with their own adult volunteers the entire night. Here's what they're going to find when they walk in that room. First of all, they're going to find some of the best adult volunteers in the world. I love them so much. They're going to be there to help keep them safe, to help them have a great time, and also to share Jesus with them in word and in deed. Then they're going to notice that there's a meal. There's a prepackaged meal that's safely been prepared, and they're going to be able to sit down and eat. And while they're eating, we're going to have some things going on the screens that they can watch. And during that time, they'll be able to eat and get cleaned up. Once that's done, at about 5:30, we're going to start our program. And here's what that looks like. There's 3 rotations. First of all, there's our Bible story and music time. It's a Bible story video, and we kind of talk about that Bible story a little bit. And then there's music where they get to dance and move and shout and sing, and maybe a few screen games. Ask your kids about the screen games. It's a lot of fun. Then once that time is over, the adult who is leading that Bible story and that music time will leave the room, and another adult will come in, and that adult will lead either recreation or Bible time activities, Bible memory verse and other things like that. So the plan is your kiddos will go into a room with the adults that they're with. They'll be there the whole night, and our leaders who lead each of those rotations will come in and out of those rooms. So that'll be through the night. Then at 6:30 we'll be finished, and we're asking families to again come to the church building by the playground. And there's the road back behind our church building. We're asking that you drive back there, and on the west side, we're going to have the kids outside or inside, depending on how hot or cold it is. And as you come up, we're going to ask who you're here for, and we're going to help your kid get into your car. So the plan is we're going to have kids be in their groups the whole night until you come to pick them up at 6:30. First Youth is 6th through 12th grade. But on Wednesday nights, we're going to have 2 separate meeting times. A meeting time for middle school, that's 6th through 8th grade, and a separate meeting time for high school, that's 9th through 12th grade. So at 5:15, 6th through 8th graders can be dropped off on the west side of the church building in the field. You'll see a big tent. We're going to have tents out there set up for our middle schoolers to meet in, and so at 5:15 they can show up, they can get their meal, which by the way on the 9th will be Chick-fil-A, and they'll grab their meal, hang out a little bit, they can be eating, and then at 5:30 we're going to start our service. During the service we're going to have worship through music. We're going to have some shenanigans and some goofing around and some fun games. We're also going to have a time of worship through preaching God's Word. I'm going to share a little bit from God's Word. Then at 6:30, middle schoolers are dismissed and they can be picked up. So at 6:30, we're asking parents and guardians to come and grab their kiddos, their middle schoolers at 6:30, because we need to sanitize the place. And at 6:45, high schoolers, 9th through 12th grade, show up. Okay. At 6:45, high schoolers can show up. They'll be dropped off or pull up on their own. They can grab their meal and start hanging out. And then at 7 o'clock, we're going to start our time of worship through music, worship through God's Word, and some shenanigans and some games. And then by 8 o'clock, high school will be done. So our time together will be short. It'll be fun. It'll be packed. It'll be great. And we're going to start on September 9th. Everyone is invited to be a part of this. However, if you're unable to make it in person, you also have the opportunity to participate with this online in various ways. We're going to be posting things on our church's website. We're also going to be on our church's social media. We're going to share some of those Bible story videos for the kids online. And of course, on the youth Facebook page and youth Instagram page, we're going to have opportunities for you to watch in live or even watch some videos later. However you join us, whether it's online or in person, you are invited, and we want you to be a part of it. Obviously, I'm super excited about Wednesday nights to get started back, and I hope you are too. Invite someone, share this video with someone, call us, text me. My number and my contact information is in the description below. You can reach out to me, and I'd be happy to talk to you more about what we've got going on. Take 27 bajillion. This is harder than it looks, people.